Hey, what is up, guys? Coming to you this morning with the, I guess you would call it the 926 boxing preview. This previews all the fights taking place between Monday, what would that be? Monday the 20th and Sunday the 27th. There's 3 cards to talk about. A total of 7 fights I'm going to discuss right here in this video, covering 926. That's when all the fights are taking place on Saturday the 26th. So I'm going to go in order from when I think the fights are going to take place. I'm going to kick it off with the ESPN Plus card on Saturday that's taking place in the United Kingdom, as it's only the main event I'm going to talk about. The undercard isn't really nothing to speak of, nobody big name notable to talk about. So let's get into the main event, where it's going to see undefeated unified junior welterweight champion Josh Taylor, that's 140, defending his 2 belts against Apanan Kongsong of Thailand, I believe, of Thailand. Kongsong's undefeated coming in. He's the mandatory #1 contender for the IBF title. Who he beat to earn that, fuck, is beyond me. But nonetheless, he's the mandatory challenger. He's been waiting around for his title shot all year, and now he's got it. Taylor hasn't fought since last October, when he won the World Boxing Super Series, took the finals, beating Regis Prograis, who was the tournament's #1 seed. Taylor came in the 2 seed. He captured his first world title in the semifinals, beating Ivan Baranchyk last year in May. And then he took on Prograis in the finals and took a close but deserving 12-round majority decision, as he remained undefeated in unified belts. So now he'll be fighting for the first time in almost a year. It's going to be about an 11-month layoff, a little bit over 11 months. And, we're going to see if he's got any ring rust, or if he's overlooking Kongsong coming in. Because, Kongsong, you look at the fight on paper, Taylor should have no problem with Kongsong. Kongsong, like I said, undefeated, got a little bit of pop, but hasn't been in a ring with anybody even close to Taylor's, Taylor and how good he is. It should be a wash. I mean, if you're looking at it on paper, that should be it. But is Taylor going to overlook Kongsong in this fight? Because Taylor wants a huge undisputed title fight with Jose Ramirez. That's what he wants next. The only way that fight is possible is if he gets through his mandatory Kongsong. But is he overlooking Kongsong? He definitely needs to not do that. And he definitely needs to come in and fight his fight, box and set himself up. My prediction on the fight is I think Taylor will do that. I think he's going to totally outbox, outwork Kongsong, not be too aggressive out the gate, and I think he'll break him down and score a middle to later round stoppage win and retain his world title. But again, Thai fighters are live. Those guys, Thai, Filipino, all those people from that region, the fighters, Manny Pacquiao, those guys are all scrappy fighters. I don't think I ever recall a fight where these guys didn't like to throw a lot of punches and are fearless, pretty much. So we'll see how good this guy is, but that's Saturday on ESPN Plus. Now let's get into the next card, which is on DAZN. It's coming from Germany, and it is the finals of the World Boxing Super Series Season 2 for Cruiserweight. And it's going to see Junior Dorticos, the IBF Cruiserweight champion, won the title last year in the semifinals when he knocked Andrew Tabiti out cold in the 10th round to win the vacant belt. He'll be defending the title against Maris Briedis, the former 2-time world champion. Briedis has had a controversial run to the final. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, this is a great matchup. These 2 guys came in the top 2 seeds. Briedis came in the 1. Dorticos came in the 2. They both fought in the semifinals of Season 1, where they lost their only fight of their careers. Both guys only got 1 loss, and they both fought fucking like warriors in the semifinals. People don't recall, that was back in early 2018 when they fought in their semifinals and lost. You had Dorticos fought a war with Murat Gassiev to unify belts. It was a fucking war, and Gassiev stopped Dorticos in the 12th round of a great fight. Great toe-to-toe battle. It was a fight of the year candidate, and Dorticos went out on his shield. But then you had Bradis. Bradis probably fought the fight of his life against Alexander Usyk, who ended up winning the whole thing. They went to unified belts in January of 2018, and Bradis fighting at home in Latvia fought the fight of his life. It was a great fight, and he dropped a close 12-round majority decision to Usyk in a fight that a lot of people, that it could have went either way. A lot of people thought, Bradis won. So it was that close. He barely lost, and that's the lone defeat of his career. However, so riding their momentum from that, they joined the World Boxing Super Series Season 2 as a top 2 seeds. And, I really thought it was going to be a breeze to the finals for both of them. They were both had the most going for them. And I felt, they were the two best fighters. But, it's kind of a rocky road to the finals. You had Dorticos was supposed to knock out Mateusz Masternak in the quarterfinal. And he ended up getting a clean decision, but he had to work hard for that. Masternak is a good, solid veteran, and he really gave him a run for his money. But then in the semifinals, he went up against Andrew Tabiti from Mayweather Stable, who's undefeated, American fighter, and he just kind of beat up Tabiti. Never let Tabiti really get a groove going, and then in the 10th round landed a fucking wicked right hand down the middle that knocked Tabiti out cold. And he captured the vacant world title in the process, the vacant IBF belt. Bradis has had a different story to the finals. He started off as the 1 seed. He chose to fight Noel Gavor, an unknown kind of German fighter who had really only been in the ring with a former world champion and lost a close decision. And Gavor outboxed Bradis, completely outboxed him and outworked him. And the fight went to the scorecards, and Bradis should have lost a clean decision, and somehow the judges fucking came back with a unanimous decision for Bradis. It was a total robbery, and I'm a Bradis fan. I wanted Bradis to win, and I was mad that he was going to ruin the final against Dorticos for me in the first round. I thought that was totally going to mess up the tournament, and he ended up getting a gift decision win. Well, then in the semifinals, he took on Krzysztof Glowacki, challenged him for the WBO belt, and another controversial win. He elbowed Glowacki when Glowacki threw a rabbit punch. He threw a back elbow when they were tangled up to the back of Glowacki's head, and Glowacki went down. The referee didn't give him a chance to recover and told him to get back up and keep fighting. And when he did, Bradis just started to beat him up, and then the bell rang, and the bell kept ringing because the referee, somehow for about 10 to 15 seconds, did not hear the bell being rung, and so he continued to pummel and already hurt Glowacki, and Glowacki came out for the 3rd round and was just out on his feet. I don't even know why his corner sent him out there, and Bradis finished him off right there in the beginning of the 3rd round and won the match by knockout and became world champion again. Well, he was supposed to make a mandatory defense against Glowacki. The WBO took about 5 months to come to that decision, and then but Bradis had a contract with the World Boxing Super Series to compete in the finals first. So the WBO told him if he didn't fight Glowacki in a rematch, he was going to be stripped of the title. He went forward with the finals against Dorticos here, and that's why that headed into 2020. Then they had a couple dates in 2020 scheduled in March and in May. The coronavirus ruined that, and now 15 months later, since they fought in the semifinals in June of last year, they're fighting in this fight. So gonna be a good fight. That's the whole story. I know it took a while, but it's gonna be a good fight right here. I can't wait to see it. It could go either way. Bradis is the better boxer. If he can outwork Dorticos, keep him off of him, he can win the fight. Dorticos has the better power and can box too. Both guys possess, Dorticos is stronger. Bradis is a better boxer, but Dorticos can box a little bit, and Bradis has a little bit of power. So it really is a it's a toss-up fight. It could go either way. I'm predicting, because of how they've looked recently, I'm predicting Dorticos to win this fight. I think he's going to knock Briedis out. I'm going middle rounds to later rounds, knockout win for Junior Dorticos, and he will be retain the world title and declare himself the World Boxing Super Series champion and the #1 fighter at cruiserweight. So we're going to see what happens. That's this Saturday, the World Boxing Super Series finals on DAZN. That should take place in the maybe around noon. Maybe the whole card starts at 11, something like that. The finals should go off in an early to mid-afternoon. Make sure you're checking that out. Now the big card. This one, the one we've been waiting for, you know, it's going to be good. Well, you know what? I'm going to do that separately, guys. I will do that one on another video. I'll hit you guys back. True Boxing, hope you enjoyed it. You've been hit with the truth.